Hey guys, so I thought I'd pop on my lunch break to give you guys a little chat about something that's super important to understand about intuitive eating. Oh my gosh, what is that? So if you are coming from a place of restrictive dieting and you want to pursue more of an intuitive eating approach to health and well-being and nutrition, this is for you. So one thing that is super important to understand, especially if you are having this history of either restricting or binging or following a ton of food rules, there is this process. I like to refer to it as like the messy middle of, the intuitive eating journey, where you may not actually be able to fully trust and understand your hunger and fullness cues. And this is so normal to experience. So if you've ever thought, I can't trust my body. Every time that I try to be more intuitive, I either lose control or I'm not eating enough. I'm always thinking about what I should versus shouldn't eat. This is the messy middle. And so often, because we don't have trust within our bodies, because we have been dieting, we haven't been listening to those hunger and fullness cues for so long, it may feel like your body's not to be trusted, especially if every time that you eat something that, has been an off-limit food and you feel like you lose control, we kind of blame the food and we blame ourselves for not being able to trust ourselves around these foods. And I've heard it over and over again. So many people say like, oh, I just need more willpower. I just need to be, better with my diet. But the reality is it's because you have been restricting yourself for so long. And in my own journey of being an intuitive eater, it definitely was a process. I was stuck in the messy middle for so long because there were a lot of fears that I had about fully trusting my body. There were a lot of fears of letting go of the food rules and the restrictions. And I often find that so many of my one-on-one clients really get stuck in this phase when they try to do intuitive eating by themselves. Just because if you don't have that accountability, if you don't have the support on a weekly basis, if you don't have somebody overseeing what you're doing to reassure you that you're on the right track with intuitive eating, it's very, very easy to go back to what feels safe. So this may be dieting, it may be restricting, it may be following all these food rules, but then you end up again in the same cycle over and over again because you're not fully giving yourself permission with food. And I remember when I first started my journey, I read the intuitive eating book. I read it front to back. Like I studied that thing to the core. And I remember, there actually wasn't a lot of intuitive eating resources back in the day, but I just remember learning the concept of intuitive eating, but like actually applying it and like being the one that had to hold myself accountable to actually following through with these things. That's what kept me stuck for so long, because I was like, well, this doesn't apply to me. This doesn't make sense to me. And so if you are in this process of trying to, rebuild trust with your body, just understand that there definitely is a process. There is a process of unlearning a lot of these diet beliefs that you have. There's a lot of unlearning how, all this like ignoring of your body that you have been doing, and really tapping into how can I listen to my comfortable level of hunger, my comfortable level of fullness, but also having the mental peace when it comes to making food choices. So I just want to let you know, if you are finding yourself stuck in the process of learning how to trust your body without all these diet rules, you feel like you are afraid to actually fully dive into being more in tune with your body, and maybe you feel like you've tried everything to heal your relationship with food, but continue to go back to restricting and binge patterns, just know that I do have some one-on-one coaching spots available right now. I would love to support you in this journey, but also through the holidays as well.